there's a million different sunscreen companies out there.
Exactly.
Like Vacation versus Supergoop. Why? And yes, of course, like the mission and values are completely different, but like both of these types of brands have brand building, like a world around it.
No matter what you have in your background, like you can bring it to marketing. There's so much that can go into marketing.
I think the influencer trip thing is like dying. And I think that you need to bring the consumer into that.
And you really just have to work for people who believe in you and believe in brand. And like, that's what I found again at Brami.
Hey friends, welcome to Above the Fold podcast. I'm your host, Jess Servion. We're going to be talking about everything in your customer's journey. You're going to learn things about customer experience, brand experience, and marketing secrets that help you drive your brand success. So stay tuned, buckle up, and let's get into the episode.
Welcome back to another episode of Above the Fold podcast with me, Jess. I am still in New York and still in my chambray emotional support shirt. But this episode, I am with my new friend, Erin Meskers, who is the director of brand at Brami. And if you don't know what Brami is, you're about to find out because it is tasty as fuck.
It's true.
Erin, tell the audience what Brami is and a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm Erin. I am the director of brand at Brami, which is an Italian food company that's based in the U.S. but made in Italy. So all Italian ingredients, only 2 Italian ingredients,
wow.
And it's just good quality Italian food, and we're trying to bring that to the United States.
That's so awesome because I mean, not that I can say that I know so much about pasta or like the CPG of pasta, right?
Yeah.
Like how do you bring those ingredients here and then for mass production ensure quality?
Yeah, it's definitely hard, and that's why I think a lot of people haven't done it yet. But we fully make all of the pasta in Italy and then ship it over once it's like boxed and ready. So, and our founder, his name is also Aaron, Aaron. He is in Italy all the time. He just got back today from another week in Italy. Like he's always there, making sure that everything is going smoothly and working with our production partners over there. And it's a cool process, and it's very old school. It's kind of cool that he grew up in between New York and Italy, and all of his family is Italian and lives in Italy. So he has like a very wants to make his family proud, like cares about like the quality and the Italian-ness of it. And I think that shows. It's like stone milled, bronze die cut, like really like classic Italian made, which makes it, you can taste it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, we'll definitely get further into Brami. Great. But before we do, we got to highlight you, babe.
That sounds great.
So you're badass. Okay. You've built a career across so many different consumer brands like Supergoop, Aviva, Cadence, and your own consultancy. Yes. Looking back, what connects all of these roles for you?
Yeah, I think one thing that connects all of them is that they all have a lifestyle aspect to it. Mm-hmm. Like Supergoop wasn't just sunscreen. It was getting people to change their habits so that they don't get cancer. And like there was a big message behind it and a whole world that we were creating around it. And then Avia, very similar. It was women's health. So that was so community based. We had a product, but it was so much about the community, the world around it, changing the way that people focus on women's health in the United States, which was really challenging. And then, Cadence, same thing. It's how people travel better. It's like and then Brami comes along and it's making your living better. It's, eating better, like having slow moments, just like having a more Italian lifestyle. So I think that is like what's made me excited about each brand.
Yeah. Well, I think that's really cool because you've worked in like different types of brands.
Totally.
Which is like, okay, so Supergoop and then women's health with Avia and then Cadence, right? Which is like more product. Like,
Yeah, exactly. It's like a little travel product.
And I think that's just like so diverse and just like badass.
It's fun. I've been like industry hopping in the CPG world, but it's been really cool, and it's helped me see a lot of different things. And also there's a lot of ways that things could overlap. Like I'm constantly talking about things I learned at Supergoop at Brami, and it relates so much. So it's not like, it's not they're not that separate.
Yeah. Well, you brought up a really good point about Supergoop too, about how like its mission, but then also just leading like brand and partnerships and events for them, right?
Yeah.
I'm curious, like, does that influence how you approach brand building today?
Definitely. A huge thing at Supergoop was I think the company really believed in brand, and it was a really small team when I joined in New York. It was like 10 of us. And they really were like, try everything, you know, like go do all the events, go gift people, go out and like give it all a shot.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's not going to be a clear ROI, you know, but like that, sometimes you got to do it for brand awareness and really get out there. And a lot of those things are the things that people were like, oh, we saw you at the event in the Hamptons. And I'm like, oh, I wish I could have put that in the report at the end. But, you know, like that's how people, oh, we saw you in the hotel room at Soho House. Like that is how people got to really know us.
Yeah.
I think about that a lot now.
Yeah.
Like, how do we just like get out there? You know, we have to do some things that are just very, you know, like straightforward classic marketing. And then some you just have to try to get out there.
Yeah. Well, I think that that's like always the issue with marketing as a whole, right? Any avenue of it is like you're always having to defend what it is that you're doing.
Yeah.
And like, there's not always like a data figure behind it to say like this is ROI, and especially brand awareness, community, anything brand, anything events. It's like there's not direct ROI, but like you can measure that by like exactly what you're saying, like somebody seeing you on the streets and being like, oh, I met you at this event, right?
Exactly.
It's just tough.
It is tough.
Working in marketing is tough.
It's really hard, and you really just have to work for people who believe in you and believe in brand. And like, that's what I found again at Brami with Erin. Like he really is like, he trusts me. He like really lets me run with it. And I'm like, that, and it seems like it's working. So, you know, those are the kind of companies I think do well. Yeah.
Well, going to Aviva.
Yes.
You led brand and community efforts there. What did you learn there about fostering authentic connections that also has carried you forward?
Yeah, definitely. So doing community at Aviva, running community was part of my job. And we had a forum. Women wrote in all day, all night, about different things, like sensitive topics about like sex, health, dating. And I was there to be their like best friend. You know, I was not a doctor. We had gynecologists answer all the really medical questions.
Smart.
But I was just like, I want these people to feel like I'm giving them a hug, you know, because sometimes they were so stressed and they're like young people, middle of America, that like don't know what they're going to do. And I'm like, I just want them to feel warm and happy with me. And I think that was made such a beautiful community there. And I now just feel like I talk to community members like that. I'm like, I think you guys are my friends. And I really feel that way. Like I really am. You can make great friends like through this and like really connect with them, not just transactional.
Yeah. I think that that's also like the way to think of marketing as a whole, of not just thinking like your customer and your community is like transactional.
Exactly.
It's like really building relationships with them, because that also like just builds loyalty, right?
Exactly.
Like there's a million different sunscreen companies out there.
Exactly.
Like Vacation versus Supergoop. Why? And yes, of course, like the mission and values are completely different, but like both of these types of brands have brand building, like a world around it, right? But it's like each of those communities and those relationships are so different.
Definitely. Right? Definitely.
Okay, so going down it, because also, like I said, you bad bitch. So your work at Cadence gave you exposure to communications and growth marketing. How did that experience sharpen your brand strategy skills?
Yeah, both at Avia and Cadence, I had to really teach myself how to do growth marketing, which I had never done before. And honestly, it's not my favorite thing to do. No, it's like I do not really enjoy it that much, but
it's terrible.
It's like it's not as fun as brand marketing, in my opinion. But I'm so happy that I had to learn that, because now, you know, as Brami's growing and we're hiring more people, because I'm having a similar experience here of retail marketing, because I haven't worked with Whole Foods before, you know, so I'm really learning all that for the first time. But now as our team is growing, I feel like I can understand other people better. I can understand where they're coming from. I know how it all comes to be the same strategy. You know, it's not all so separate. Like it's best when it at the end is like all together, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, I think what you're pointing out is so true. And this is exactly what I like say about marketing is like, you have to understand it's not just about like the full funnel. You have to understand your entire customer's journey. Totally. And so I think that that's really awesome that you did learn growth marketing, even if it's not your favorite version of marketing, but you learn how to acquire them. Then you learn how to take care of them. Exactly. And then keep them around.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, it's cool. It really helps the vision. Like when you're planning it for the year and for strategy, like it helps really have the full vision of it instead of just siloed.
Yeah. Yeah. And then so like after all of these things and before Brami, you did your own consulting, right?
Yes, I did.
So when you decided to be a consultant, what gaps in the industry were you most excited to solve?
I was noticing something at most of the brands that I was at, that there was this disconnection between millennial and Gen Z and how they worked in marketing and how they looked at marketing. And as someone who's technically on the cusp, if I was born 3 years later, I would have been a Gen Z. And like I felt that I had worked, you know, in like really classic professional, like I was at Amex for a little bit, you know, like really having that full vision. And Gen Z kind of has the attitude of like, it's not that deep. And millennials have the attitude of like, this is the deepest thing ever.
It's so deep.
And like,
this is probably why my content sucks. Because I want to get so deep on my content.
It's so like weird. That's just how we are, you know, like but like neither person was necessarily wrong. Like, and I thought that it was an in between. And so I was like, how do I gap this of, okay, yeah, these people are doing kind of crazy stuff on social media and that is what's working right now. Okay, but then how do we talk about this with the investors and like how does this grow up to our bigger plan? Like really making those connections so that the team can really like all, you know, put in their 2 cents and it helps.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. So switching gears to Brami, I really want to like dive deep into like branding and positioning. But obviously like we're talking about your career journey, right? So like what inspired you to join Brami and what excited you most about that opportunity?
Yeah, definitely. So I wasn't looking for a full-time job. Again, I was just doing my consulting, really enjoying it. And I got a random DM on LinkedIn from someone I used to date actually. And they was like, hey, I'm doing, they worked at a recruiting agency and think that this job just makes so much sense for me. And like we have mutual friends with the other girls and they were like, oh yeah, Erin Meskers is like the person for this job. So okay, I'll take the interview and see how it goes. And I just fell in love with
the mission,
the brand, like the founder, like how passionate he was about it, how excited he was about brand building specifically. I was like, oh, we can like really have fun with this. You know, like he made me excited to come into their world. So I'm very happy that I did.
Cool. And then Brami is positioned as the new era of Italian food. I mean, like we talked about this in the beginning, right? How do you translate that into brand identity and storytelling? Because it's so deep rooted.
Yeah, I think a huge part of, you know, trying to make it a new era of this, there's this classic Italian, everyone gets together, they eat quality foods, they are really warm and they eat pasta every day. There's no guilt attached to it. Like there's just this beautiful thing that just hasn't made its way to America yet. So like, we're like, okay, the way that it's been in the United States is just not like that. People look at pasta as a guilt meal. People are like, don't really even notice if there's a lot of additives and pesticides and stuff in their food. So we're like, okay, we can make this the new. And
my brain is now like, oh fuck, I can't eat Brelli or whatever it's called anymore. Brami only.
It's true. It is so true. And like when I started, I'm like, wow, I can't believe I didn't know any of this about all these like pastas and things. But I feel like it really helped. We are creating a new era of Italian food in the United States. Yeah. And it's exciting.
Well, I think what's actually the other thing that's really cool too is that, you know, there's like a ton of TikToks and like people are there like, oh, I'm going on my Europe trip and like romanticizing how like you eat like in Europe and you don't feel like that same type of food. Like you can eat like, you know, even one of my girlfriends actually, she just went to Italy and spent like 4 weeks there and she was like talking about how in the States she has celiac disease and she can't eat certain foods here. But then when she was in Italy, she could eat like real mozzarella, she could eat real pasta and all of these things.
Exactly.
So I think from like a care for individuals perspective, but also I think you're like speaking into that like brand identity and storytelling of like the trend that's also happening on socials where people talk about European foods and like and there's not additives and they can consume it without guilt, right?
Definitely.
I mean, I know that's exactly what you're describing, but I think it's like really fucking cool to have something like that in the States.
It is so cool. And like also the whole, everyone wants to have a Euro summer. Everyone wants to be over there because things are slower. Everyone sits around and really enjoys a meal together. Yeah. It's so focused on family and friends. And it's like not only the food, but the entire lifestyle. Like we can do that here too. We just have to like, someone has to make it happen. We all have to like work together on it. But it doesn't have to be that we have to spend a ton of money to fly to Italy in order to have a nice meal and a good life.
Yeah.
It feels like that sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, food overall here is the whole subject. But I also want to make it known that Brami isn't just pasta.
No.
Right? So, and correct me if I'm butchering this. Yeah. Lupini?
Yes, perfect.
So lupini beans are still really unfamiliar to a lot of consumers. How do you in brand balance education with making the brand feel fun and accessible?
Definitely. Yeah, I think it's been really fun. This is another way that we've been talking, that the community has helped us of seeing how they use lupini beans. Like turns out kids love it, love them, think they're the best. So, okay, then we're going to do content around like lunch boxes and bento boxes and like really try to make that like a fun family experience. And then same thing with like charcuterie boards. Like they're so great on charcuterie boards. Oh my God, my words. Okay. But charcuterie boards. And I host all the time and they're always the first thing to go off the boards. We're like, yeah, these can just be added to your day-to-day life. And then when we are posting about it on social, we're like, and by the way, they're really good for you. Yeah. And I think with pasta, we're trying to do the same thing of like, you don't have to change your whole routine or life in order to fit these things in. Like they're ready to jump into whatever you're doing. So we're trying to kind of express that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, trust me, like when you handed me the lupini beans, I hadn't tried them yet, but I didn't say this out loud to you, but I'm actually really excited to try them because I found like this new love for beans as a whole.
Oh, yeah.
Like
I'm a big beans girl too.
And maybe it's like a European thing, but like I fucking love a bean salad, babe.
I love a bean salad. Love it. Truly. A big beans person.
We might be hungry here. I'm not sure.
Yeah, like it's possible.
Yeah. So switching gears to like just brand philosophy, how do you personally define brand experience and how do you bring that to life at Brami?
Yeah. So I think brand experience is, it's so wide of every way that the consumer touches us, whether, how they see us in store, what it feels like when they're eating us. But then with my role, it's like, how do we really interact with you in the world in a larger way? So we're starting to do a lot of events. I'm about to go on like a country tour and do little parties and events and really try to get people to not only try the product and love it, but come into our world. Like what world are we creating around it? And also always being nice and positive and like, what is our experience? Like we give them good experiences that they think of Brami and they're like, oh yeah, like that was only positive from when I bought it to now following them on social. It's just all good things. Yeah.
So, when you're working on like any of these like brand experiences and these community building brand, and I know we talked about this in the beginning, but specifically for Brami, what signals do you look for that tell you the brand is resonating with Brami's audience?
Yeah, I think, first, since I'm so tied to social, I just think seeing people like tagging us organically all the time. Like, wow, and it's grown so much over the last year of when I joined and it was like, okay, we really hope that someone tags us today. And now it's like, okay, we have to pick our top, 5 to 10. Like, we're like, wow, people are really picking on this and they love it. And it's cool to see, like, we're not just gifting influencers and they're posting it. Like people are going out of their way to engage with it before us. Yeah.
I think that's so fucking cool, man. Like
it makes me so happy. I get so excited whenever I see something. And like, we just had something yesterday that someone posted a selfie of them wearing our t-shirt, and we had just launched a t-shirt on our site, and our marketing coordinator, Abby, messaged me and was like, who has this shirt? Like, why does this person have this shirt? And we're like looking him up on LinkedIn. We're like, who's he connected to? Who gifted him this shirt?
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense that he has this shirt. And then we're like, oh, maybe he there's no way he bought it. Like, we just put it up on the site. And then we asked him, he's like, yeah, I purchased it. I was so excited. I'm like, wow. And he's like, this is so random guy. And I'm like, wow, that's so cool. Like, I'm forgetting that we really are creating this like world that people are now like watching and like really waiting for the next thing that we put out. So it was cool.
Well, I think even for like, if you think about like on the social perspective of things, right? We talk a lot about like brand world building. Yeah. And I think even when we're consuming socials, we are looking for like snippets of TV rather than just like, here's this ad. We want an experience. We want,
definitely.
And I think that Brami does do a good job of creating that like that world building, but like in a like consuming of TV almost, you know?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Bad bitch. All right. If you had to sum up Brami's mission in one line, what would it be?
Yeah. Brami's mission is, being a new era product that's bringing high quality, high protein food to the United States.
Yeah.
It's just like, we are really just bringing the best food to US consumers. Like, that's what our number one priority is.
I want to see like a commercial with like grandma in the kitchen.
Yeah, so we were like, totally. I've been like reaching out to like the Nana influencers. And I'm like, I love their stuff.
Yes. Okay, let's switch gears to like growth and challenges, because I know that recently you guys launched in Costco.
Yes, we did.
Which is really exciting. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so we just launched in Costco. So for Costco, you have like a 2-month trial period, and it's not called trial, but something like that. And we very excitingly launched in 6 different regions, and we were so excited about that. But it's a huge undertaking, of course, and we had to redesign our packages because it has to be a 4-pack. And we made bigger packages, and it really was this cool experience. And then for me, it's my first time getting into the Costco influencer world. Like, I didn't even know how big the Costco influencer.
Tell me more about
It's just
that.
like, there's so many people that all of their content is just going to Costco, and their communities are so engaged, and everyone is dying to know like where they got it, what was the price, how long is it going to be there. So we've been working with these influencers, and everyone's just loving it and going in and buying, and it's been cool. I'm like, I haven't worked in Costco world before, but it's really fun because people love Costco.
It's a cult classic.
Exactly.
Right.
Like, whoever shops at Costco is obsessed with Costco. Like, I grew up like we used to shop at Costco. I loved it. Like, you really
Kirkland's signature.
Oh my gosh, the best of it. Really good stuff.
I know it is really good stuff. I do. For me, like, I can't really shop at Costco too much. It's like once a quarter type of jam, because it's like, it's just me and my husband.
Well, it's the same. I'm like a single woman. I'm like, I can't really right now, but one day I'll go back.
Yeah, but like, I do have a Costco membership where it's like
same.
I go and like buy in bulk, but also like I go to Costco to see like what the hot thing is on the market,
Totally.
And I'm also really fascinated. You brought this up about like moving into retail, and how like your pricing architecture and your packaging architecture has to change, right? I know that people understand that and know those things, but like, I don't think people really understand internally from the operator standpoint what goes into that.
It's hard, and
it's almost like a rebrand.
Yes, totally. And especially when everything is made in Italy too, it's like, it's not like things can just happen overnight. You have to really plan for it, and then we care so much about design. Like, it is part of the brand experience in, our brand. So when we're changing our boxes, like, we're not just like, okay, we're just going to shift the sizing of this. We're like, okay, we're designing from scratch. It feels like with the Costco box, we're like really trying to make this the best that it could possibly be. And that takes a lot of time and thought, for sure.
Yeah. From marketing a product that's like both new and rooted in tradition, like obviously is going to present a lot of challenges. At Costco, and maybe you haven't solved this yet, like even if there's like a story around other retailers too, but like how do you overcome hesitancy from first-time shoppers?
Yeah, I think a huge part of it is getting people to taste the product, because I think a lot of, especially, like really classic Italian Americans that have been grown up eating, they know what they like. They are like, okay, you're new, you're funky, like not sure. But once we tried to like show that we are made in Italy. Once they can realize that and try the pasta, they're like, oh, this is legit. Like this has the same texture. It is really legit pasta. And then they're sold for life. So we're like, we're trying to figure out how more and more ways to get people to try it, because we are lucky that we're a brand that once people try it, they're sold. So
yeah. Well, it's so rooted in the tradition. It's like all of your community events should just be dinner parties.
Well, exactly. And like, that's what we're doing, because we're like, this is like, so it really just makes sense for us.
Yeah.
And
candlelit.
Exactly.
Just so
like
fun.
A good, warm, comfy vibe.
Oh, that sounds beautiful. Well, I'm really excited to go to an event.
Can't wait to have you.
Which brand campaign or initiative at Brami has been most rewarding for you personally? Because you a bad bitch. So I know. I keep like, I'm a hype queen.
I love it.
You should know.
I'm going to walk out of here feeling best I've ever felt. I know we were just talking about Costco, but it definitely, this Costco experience has been what has been the most rewarding for me. And we're only like halfway through it. We still have another 2 months. So it's been really cool for me, learning so much about what it really is to launch in a new retailer. So, because when I started, we were already at Whole Foods. We weren't national, but we were at Whole Foods, like same with Target. Like we had already gotten in the door in a lot of these places, and Walmart. So it was my first time of like, wow, this is a huge new space. We're getting in a whole new influencer world for me that I haven't been in before. It's been really cool to see that work and to see people excited about it. And I feel like proud, and which is nice.
Yeah. I think the coolest thing too is like the fact that you've gone through so many different pieces of marketing that like honestly you're just like really positioning yourself to be a CMO.
Oh, thank you.
That's next for you, babe.
Thank you. I hope so.
But I think it's so important though, right? Like to learn all these pieces of marketing and like getting tidbits of it. Switching back to customer experience and community. So obviously you've worked a lot of community driven roles before, but I'm curious from your perspective, how does customer feedback and engagement influence how Brami tells its story today? Like, how are you using those channels?
I think a huge part of it is figuring out who our buyer is. Like this is a kind of new product. It's not like some other protein pastas are gluten-free. So they have a whole gluten-free people. Like we're trying to figure out who are our, our shoppers. And of course there's a million different surveys and research that you can do to figure that out. And we're doing that too. But sometimes at the end of the day, it's like, every day we get tagged with so many mothers who are like, when they were pregnant, they always felt sick. They relied on Brami because it was good for their stomach and it gave them protein. Like now they have young kids, and the young kids it's the only way they can get protein for their kids, and all these things. And especially as like a single woman without kids, I don't experience that personally every day. So getting to see all of that on social and seeing all these people like write in and be like, you are a lifesaver to us, like being tagged. So then we use that. We're like, okay, moms, like, we need to be targeting more moms because they want us. They just need to find us. So that's like a huge way that we kind of like work with the community.
I love that. I love that. I think that, especially as you like think about like obviously like retailers, right? I always say that the females, the moms, the female audience in general are the ones that bring the foods or supplements or whatever into the house and then inspire everybody else.
Totally.
So I think you doubling down in that mom influencer world is really going to unlock.
I think so too. I'm excited. It's fun. And like, it's just so fun seeing there's so many different types of moms and families around the US, and seeing them all like use Brami in different ways. This is very cool.
Dude, changing the pasta game.
Exactly.
Well, changing the Italian food era game because it's lupini as well.
It's very true. Thank you.
What have you learned about how consumers interact with Brami both online and in those retail environments? Like, what's the differentiators there?
Yeah, I think online. Well, in retailers, when we do demos, we really get excited that people are able to try us for the first time and like are sold on it. Or there are a lot of people that shop by packaging or looking for like a keyword like protein and like so we're trying to stand out in stores, and by doing trial, we're doing a lot of demos with Costco, and then also by just making sure that we have the best packaging ever, which I think we do. So we're trying to get people to just be attracted to us. And then online, it's fun because you still have people for less, not a ton of time, but you can get more info to them of, as they're scrolling, like really interesting recipe video. And the woman on the voiceover is saying that it also has 21 grams of protein and it's made in Italy. And like then they get excited and they're like, wow, I need to try this. And it's a cool way for them to interact.
Yeah, I agree. What's your favorite like social channels? Is it Instagram, TikTok, like YouTube? Like where are you finding the most success?
Yeah, we're definitely finding the most success on Instagram right now. And we're getting more and more into TikTok. And it's still it's like some do like blow up and some don't move too much. So we're trying to like learn from, what is working and not working on TikTok. And it seems like it's ever changing, the social media and always. And then Instagram, I think because our community is on Instagram, I feel so connected to it too. And there's a lot of UGC, and there definitely is a lot more interactions, and like we're posting that we're going to be in different cities and people are commenting really excited that we're coming to their city. And I think that that's like a fun part of it. And then we just are launching a Substack right now. So
cool.
That's what I think is we're going to see how that goes. But I love Substack. I've become like such a Substack girly.
Dude, yeah.
And I don't think a lot of brands are like really in the world yet. So we have been having these like amazing writers write about their experiences with Italy and food. And like, it's not going to be like straightforward salesy. Some of the articles don't even mention Brami at all.
Yeah. Well, it's like world building.
Exactly. But we're like creating this world around it with like really talented writers.
Wow. That's cool. I think that's a really underrated channel. Is
Definitely.
Substack. I have seen a few brands start doing some things there, but I think you can get ahead of the game if you like do it now.
Yeah, I'm excited. We just launched it last week, so sign up.
We'll see, right? Sign up, Substack.
Exactly.
If Brami could collaborate with any brand outside of food, who would be your dream partner?
Yeah. Have you followed Casa Lava? Do you know them? It's a Casa and then LAWA, and they are this like kind of hotel, but it's like very B&B vibes, kitchen, community space in Italy. And it's so colorful and lively. And they have these amazing retreats where like people come and just like live this like amazing Italian kind of lifestyle. And I think it would be really fun for us to go to Italy and experience it there. But then also like if we could bring them to us too in the US, like I think there's a lot of fun opportunities there. And I've been like fangirling over them for a while. So
you know what I like keeps coming up for me is White Lotus.
Yes,
like
totally.
Almost doing like an Italian, but I mean obviously we know that. Well, if you haven't viewed White Lotus, like I'm not going to give it away, but but like that like Italian cliffside type of like trip almost, and it's even taking like the consumer. Not like an influencer.
Yeah, definitely.
We're just dreaming up shit right now.
No, it's so true. And like even with all these events that we're doing over the next month, we're going to be in 5 different cities, and it's half influencers, half consumers, because the consumers are the influencers too. Like they're the word of mouth influencers, and they are the ones that have been like supporting us for so long. And so I think it will be fun to just like really be able to spend time with them in person.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the influencer trip thing is like dying. And I think that you need to bring the consumer into that.
Exactly.
To make them feel special.
Totally. Exactly, because we love them. So
yeah,
we have to tell them. Yeah.
Like how you have money.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like,
yeah. What's your favorite go-to snack?
Other than Brami lupini beans, I love the Unreal, like the chocolate covered peanuts. Yeah. I'm vegan, and when my favorite candy my whole life was always the peanut M&Ms. Yeah. So when I was vegan, I couldn't have them anymore. I was devastated, and then I found Unreal's like version of them, which tastes the same. So I'm always snacking, or just apple and peanut butter.
Yeah, yeah,
it's a classic,
dude. I know. That is actually my snack. Okay, so from being a brand leader, I'm curious, and this is actually my last question. Yeah. Okay. If someone made a starter pack for you as a brand leader, what 3 things would be in it?
Yeah, I think one would be definitely a Google Calendar. Yeah, I rely on my calendar so much, not only just for work but for personal. Like I feel like it helps me like separate, my work life, my personal life, reminds me everything. It would definitely be a part of my schedule, my work life. And then honestly, just seltzer water. I drink seltzer water all day, every day. Yeah. If I'm dehydrated, I can't think straight. I think I'm just like a very classic.
We're all dehydrated. Literally.
And then like a box of Brami pasta, because I know it's like, it feels like a cop-out, but I think a thing that I do love about working in-house again compared to being freelance is I really feel like I'm such a brand person that I become the brand. The brand becomes such a big part of me, and I like feel so connected to it, and like try to speak through it. So I think that is my third.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So being somebody who is a brand marketer, and if anybody was listening to this episode, because I actually get asked this question a lot, like a lot of junior people are in my DMs, and they're like, how do I get into like marketing? How do I get into brand? Like any of those things. Is there any sort of advice that you would give to somebody who might be listening, who's looking to get into the marketing world?
Yeah, definitely. My first job was in PR, and then I switched over to brand marketing. And I think it's really, no matter what you're in. So the woman that we just hired actually to be our coordinator, marketing coordinator, she just graduated and got her master's in criminal justice. Wow. And had no CPG experience, but was a talented creator, and like came to the interviews. Like she knew how to connect her criminal justice learnings to what we needed, and like had amazing examples of work that she had done in her hobby life as a creator, and this makes sense. This person makes sense, and she's been unbelievable. Like she's a dream. So I think just bringing, no matter what you have in your background, like you can bring it to marketing. There's so much that can go into marketing. So just figure out how to connect the dots, and then. Applying for jobs it's really hard, but apply for a lot. Reach out to people that are interesting to you, and
follow those people.
Listen to the podcasts, read the Substacks, like really be engaged, and things just kind of like come up. Most of my jobs have just like come up through other things.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I think even the same thing in my career, right? It's like the jobs that I've applied for versus the jobs that I actually worked are like ones that were like referred to me.
Totally. Yeah, it all's connected.
I know. Well, guess what, Erin?
What?
This is like so quick.
That was great.
I know,
so
but
fun.
I mean, I feel like we like learned a lot of things about Brami, about you. I would love it if you could tell the audience where they can reach you.
Yes. So you can reach me at Erin Meskers on LinkedIn, Instagram. Don't look at my TikTok. It's bad. It's so bad. I try, but and then also Brami. So enjoy Brami across all social.
Well, be sure to support Brami, because that is her brand baby. Just out there.
Please
live it.
She's out there in the world, and I need you guys.
So. Oh, and what cities are you coming to?
Oh yeah, so we're going to be in New York, Seattle, Chicago, San Diego, and Atlanta. So if you live in any of those cities, either give me a personal DM or Brami, and it'd be fun to have you.
Yeah, and we'll put it also in the show notes too for anybody who is potentially interested in joining one of the community events. And I appreciate everybody tuning in for another episode of Above the Fold, and we'll catch you next week. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Dang, we've made it to the end of the podcast and you're still here. So thank you so much for listening to Above the Fold podcast. For the best of this episode and every episode, be sure to follow us on Instagram and my YouTube channel. And for deeper dives on the secrets to brand success, don't forget to subscribe to my weekly newsletter, Sunday Postcards. All right, my dudes and gals, see you next week.